Hey everyone, my name is Peter. Welcome to our 2021 Ram Promaster rebuild, where today we will be installing a new teardrop window back behind the end of the van for our bedroom. Essentially, this will be the window that we have right above our heads as we go to bed. And to start, we need to remove the support beam that's in the middle of the metal framing. So it took us a little while here to kind of get used to how we're doing this. We're using a hammer and a chisel, pretty basic tools that you can get from Home Depot. Luckily enough, we're building at my parents' place.
It doesn't need to be in here. Keep going. Yep. Not broken off yet.
My dad had a chisel and hammer, so it's nice and easy to do this. As you can see, it's taking a little bit longer, but we're kind of wedging the chisel in between, kind of wiggling it back and forth. As soon as it's removed, we'll be able to start kind of outlining where the window's going to be. As you can see there, the bar tried to attack me, so I took my vengeance on it and removed it and ripped it out. There's these little metal burrs at the bottom that were holding it in. I believe that was the weld that was holding those. So we just hammered those down flat, and I don't know why I scraped off this glue, but moving it anyway when we were going to take out the window, but it just looked better without it. So next thing is we had a cardboard cutout. We traced the entire window and aligned it to the place that we would like it to be. We taped it up at first and then drilled some pilot holes all the way through, so we were able to take the cardboard cutout after we were done drilling those pilot holes and move it to the outside to realign on the outside. Once we had it realigned on the outside, you can see there's that hole in the top left and top right. We were able to use a Sharpie and kind of trace this out for our outline for the window to be cut. Then all you need is a little power drill to kind of widen out those holes. You can wave it in the air like you just don't care. But what we're doing is we're drilling in a couple more pilot holes here, and what we're doing is wiggling it back and forth to widen that hole to fit the jigsaw blade. So you can see it was a little bit of a rocking motion there to fit the jigsaw blade in. As you can see, we just started cutting right around that line. Be careful here, some metal shards definitely come back and bite you. You'll see in a minute that I transition into a very fashionable coat. Also, some point the blades kept getting eaten by the metal. Just make sure that you have a proper jigsaw and blades for this, as it is just like a nice sheet metal to cut through. So number one thing here is we wanted to cut it as close to that Sharpie line as we could, but a little bit on the inside, so it would be a tight fit. You don't want to get it too big, otherwise you're just going to have a hole that the window does not fit into, so we try to stick to those lines as close as possible, but not directly on them. You know, the jigsaw is going to wiggle back and forth, so sometimes it's a little difficult to get to, but you can see we're just at that line there. So once we made that final cut, we held it up with some blue tape, so that way we could push it out at the end, it wouldn't fall down or anything. Of course, we use safety glasses the whole time. So pushing out that metal, you can see here, we now have a new hole.
I'll have a taco and a burrito, please. Burrito.
We're close.
Want to do a shout out to my dad too. He's such a huge help during this process. He's been just amazing helping us out. You can see him here. He's kind of notching down some nubs in the metal to make sure that the dry fit of that window works. He's using all of his concentration. Caught Racine trying to take some photos. And then nighttime came, which sucked. But we used some lighting. So what we're doing on the inside here is we're giving it a little bit of padding just to give a little bit of cushion on the inside there. It gives a little bit of a tighter seal. Dad was also outlining the outside with alcohol, kind of cleaning it down for the silicone caulk. And now we are doing a full bead of silicone caulk all the way around. So this is going to keep the window waterproof as well as help keep a seal on it. It's acting as both a binder and a prevention for water to leak in. So once that was done, we were able to lift up and put the window into the hole and slide it in and gap, and Dad was able to hang out and hold it from the outside. You'll see here in a second, he's just looking in as we screw in all of the holes for the plate on the inside that holds the window in. So you can see that he's looking in there trying to be fed, but we're saying no, we don't have any tacos still. So you can see that the window's in now, but what we did, we took some wood shims and kind of went around the outside of the window, get rid of any of that excess silicone because it started squirting out. We placed a lot of it. We wanted to make sure that it got in there, but we also don't want a bunch of silicone just hanging outside the window. So took these wood shims, kind of cleaned it up, made sure everything on the outside looked good, and then we were going to be finished with it. Do a last little clean, get the windows looking spick and span, and bing, bada boom, we are finished. Now, it was a little bit nerve-wracking to do this, but definitely was worth it. We were happy to have this window, and we can't wait to put in a couple more.